Alright guys, well hopefully we've got enough camera equipment and everything else. Got both cameras with me. I almost brought the drone, but right now it's not windy, but the wind is blowing so hard I didn't think that I could even keep the drone in position very long at all because of all the wind. But I don't know what all you can see, but there's some repair area over here by the fence. And then down here in this pasture around the pond, they had a bunch of weeds, and actually, he probably wants me to seed up here, but I don't know. We'll see if we got enough seed. But we're gonna use the, basically it's a Woods super seeder, but this is the Frontier. Let's get back here. Well, I thought the number was here. I don't ever remember what the number is. And then I brought my spinning Jenny there, but I forgot the dang drive shaft. It's a GS 1172. I've got all 3 seed boxes. Today we're going to run Brome in this front seed box. I am going to move the discs forward one more notch. We're going to see what this does, but we're probably going to have to move it. And I think we're going to run the annual ryegrass in the back small seed box there. Get this off. We're gonna get some Brome in it. We're gonna see what we can get done. I have never seeded Brome with this seeder. It's supposed to seed it pretty good. We'll see what it does. Put it here in the grass. I always try to put my tractor and the seed box and everything in the grass to load it up, and I'll go over kind of what I have the seeder set at and all that. Sitting on the ground, level that out, on the ground. All right, we'll let the tractor warm up a little bit there. Let's go get some seed. This is about 2 acres, guesstimated. We ought to be able to do it with 50 pounds of grass. Don't necessarily love this front seat box. is, if you're new to this, I want to explain to you why it's so hard to seed things like brome. That's a 50-pound bag of seed. So this seed box is about the same size as this seed box. I can put 150, almost 200 pounds of fescue in this. That is 50 pounds of brome. That's why the stuff is really hard to seed, because, and I hope this runs through it. It's listed for brome grass, and my local rep said that it works really good in it. I'm on the low side. You can go slow, medium, or high speed. I'm on slow speed, on slow gear. And brome grass, we're putting down 23 pounds an acre. Brome, I mean, that's about where you want to be. Everything you find, it'll be about 15 or 20 pounds. I try to go 20, 25 pounds, just because it's difficult to get it to germinate. Now, you don't want to put it in very deep, so it's literally it's dropping down right in front of the spike wheel. You only want to put it in the ground a quarter to a half inch. So, and that's the real struggle with brome also, is trying to get it to the right depth. Why is it always windy everywhere I go? I guess because of wind. This bag's gonna take off if I even remotely try to set it down. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is, I don't have my cool season grass box. It is, just put that in there so I don't get whopped. My cool season grass box, annual ryegrass, you can turn it down to 37 pounds. Okay, that was the tractor dealer. They actually carry woods. So one of the main things I do not like about this seeder, besides the seed rate of the cool season grass box, is oh, you know what, I'm going to use a small box. I got to go in and put the pin in it. Son of a gun. I'm glad I remembered that, otherwise I'd still have seed in it. But I think I am going to use a small seed box, because I reclocked the cool season grass, the main seed box, primary box is what they call it, and I've made it to where I can primary seed with that box fescue, because factory you cannot put enough seed down. I'm going to change the gearing back, and I'm just going to do 2 passes when I'm primary seeding, so then I can go back through and I can overseed with the seeder also. But besides the seed rate of the primary box, I hate that scraper. This thing, every time I use it, I know you guys probably hear me complaining about it, and the only reason this is coming off is because it's dry. Normally any kind of moisture at all packs onto this, and I asked my deer dealer multiple times, you got to have a scraper for this, and they said no, there's not one available. Well, I called the woods dealer. They told me the same thing, and I said there's no way. So I called the woods rep this morning, and he was like, yeah, it's kind of in a hidden spot, let me get you the part number. And I was like, okay, so they have one? So I just ordered a scraper kit for that, about 250 bucks shipped. But I don't care. They could have told me 500 bucks. And if I could just buy one and bolt it on, send it to me. I mean, don't even waste my time. But this thing, it'll pack, I'll make 3 passes and it'll be packed up if there's any moisture at all up there. So we'll have a scraper kit for that. That'll fix that. We're gonna go back to the factory timing in there. But let's go back to what I was saying. We need to be, I want to be about 20 pounds. Is really what I want to be. So you go down, yeah, we need to be in between 1/2 and 5/8. But, and that's where we're at. We're right in between 1/2 and 5/8. I think time of year, let's just put it up to 5/8. All right, tighten that down. I'm not going to bore you with getting in here. I got to get in here and put a pin in here and pull a pin for the primary box, because whatever box you don't have seed in, you don't want to run it dry. You could probably run the native box without it having anything in it, because it doesn't have seed cups, but there's no sense in it. So let me get that repinned and pull the pin out of the primary, and I'm gonna get seed in the small seed box, and we're gonna try this thing on some brome and see if it actually plants brome. I really hope it does, because it's too windy to broadcast this stuff. So it has to go through this. It has to. Has to. All right. Give me a minute. All right. I have no idea how this is going to work. We're just going to hope for the best. What I've got in there is I have 50 pounds of brome in the warm season box, set on the low side, slow side, or slow, medium, and high. So I'm in the slowest setting, which is 23 pounds an acre. A little heavy, but we're late. I want to try to get a good stand. I have the discs moved halfway forward, not all the way back, not all the way forward, halfway. And I have 50 pounds of annual ryegrass. I want to be, everything always tells you want to be, 20 pounds of rye for a cover crop. Some things will tell you a little less than that. I usually try to shoot for 22 pounds of annual rye for cover. This is what we're doing. There's a big dead area here and over by the pond. I don't know if I have it set right disc-wise for what I want to do, but we'll see what it does. Kind of see the ground. Half tempted to do a little bit here to see if I like the disc, but I think we're just going to go in here and get where we're going and just do it up. I'm going to make a pass, see what it looks like, get out, see if I can see some grass, some seed. But anyway, so I'm putting down 50 pounds of each, so that ought to get me 2 acres right there, thereabouts. So that part of it works out really good. I just don't like the primary box. Actually, let's get along this fence line. We'll test it out here. I'd kind of like to see how much it's going to open it up, because I may have to back the disc down a little bit. The ground's got some moisture in it. I don't really want to bring a lot of moisture up, because then that's a struggle for the spike roller. Let's just see what this does. I'm in low gear on the tractor. Usually you see it about 5 miles an hour. I do. I'd like it to actually open up a little more than that. Not much, a little more. And I'd like it if I didn't have dirt on my dang drive wheel. Something about like that. May need to go out and knock the rest of that dirt off the spike wheel. I thought I had enough of it off. Figured it might fling off, but it's telling me no. How that's opening it up. Looks like you're about dead. Let me switch out the battery. I'm gonna get the rest of the dirt off of there. Maybe we don't have enough moisture in here to plug up on the spike wheel, so I'm gonna get the rest of the dirt off the spike wheel. I thought maybe it was dry enough it'd flake off. I didn't get all the dirt off the spike wheel. I just didn't want to have any part of it. So let's go back over this. We ought to be dropping brome now. I like how that's working. I wish we were just a touch drier, just a little less moisture. It's still still a little wet. If we had scrapers for the spike wad, I think we'd probably be a lot better off. And this seeder might, like going a little faster. I might have to jump up to B range and run a little fast. Actually, I'm only going 4 miles an hour, so that explains it. I need to jump up to B so I can go about 4.5, 5 miles an hour. It ought to do pretty good. Let's just see what we got. Out there feels good. 5.4, 5 mile an hour or something. Grab you guys in case the camera's bouncing around. Ground's not prepped. It's cattle ground. A lot of people cattle, they just don't tear. Cattle's gonna come in and tear it up anyways. Be nice if it was a touch smoother. Show you guys what we got going on back here. See if I can get you guys somewhere. Maybe you can watch the business in a little bit. Bad thing is I forgot the drive shaft for the spreader, so after we're done seeding, I'll have to go back and get the dang drive shaft, come back up and fertilize it. Do some of this weedy stuff. See what that does prep wise. A little wet, like I say. Rocky stuff, see what that does. Just kind of test it out, check it how it does with everything. Technique, I guess, if you want. Maybe you won't like this. Maybe you want to see what's going on back there. On here, it's going to make this cedar a lot more desirable for me, and this cedar might get along pretty good. I was actually already shopping for a different cedar, but if I can get this thing to work, if it works good for this, I'll live with the fescue, because the Brome and the natives are the struggle. That's where you struggle getting a small seed drill. You can get a good stand of Brome and a good stand of natives. Natives are hard to deal with, and and so is Brome, because you saw how big and fluffy it is. It's really hard to get it to go through a box. So if this works, and then I can overseed pastures, and then that scraper on the roller, that'll fix that problem. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to retime it factory on the cool season grass box, and then that way I can turn it down. Well, basically almost all the way up is where I overseed at, but then I'll just make 2 passes when I'm primary seeding bare ground. And normally I prep it, it's flat, I can run with it, and it's actually kind of better to split it up and do half and half. I do kind of feel like you get a little better coverage and makes it a little more uniform. Just my personal preference. But on roadside stuff and all that, I mean, you know, I do like doing single pass and done. But I'll make it work. I will make it work. I'm gonna make it work by going back to what they had designed on the seeder in the first place. And we'll do 2 passes. That's just how it'll be. I'm glad I set that. I was going to leave it where I had it and it wasn't as aggressive. I actually kind of like that. I wish this was a little smoother, but I don't know, maybe I moved the wheels back where they were and kind of see what it does. I don't think it's going to be aggressive enough. I need to. It looks more aggressive than what it is. I need to get through the weeds that they sprayed off. I'm trying to get through, you know, the residue without a better term. It's not crop residue, but it's residue from weeds and whatnot. I need to kind of get through it and get to the soil, so it looks a little rougher than what it is. Low area, maybe get in, and here's our ground, about that deep. It's about a ½ inch. Like I said, it'd be nice if I had a heavier wheel on the back to get some more compaction, and 2, it would be nice if this was prepped and it was flat instead of highs and lows. This is going to help level it out. I could have pulled the pins and tilled it, or dissed it rather. But you don't want it that loose for Brome or natives. They both kind of plant the same way. Well, let me see. Put you back over here, maybe get a view of what all I'm doing. Maybe you can see behind me also. So I think we're pretty good on the rate. I mean, I feel like about where we need to be. Let's go get cut in back here in this pond and get this small area done here. Actually, let's go here. Try to turn around. I love the turn radius on this tractor, by the way. Way tighter than the Kubota. Way tighter. I know it seems like a bash Kubota. It was fine. The tractor was fine. It just wasn't for me. I like more of this tractor, more of the capabilities of this tractor over the Kubota by a long stretch. I really do wish that I would have brought the fertilizer. I'll be done with this lickety split. It's almost close enough. I could probably almost, this is kind of rough down here, I could almost road the tractor down here, but we'll go see the other place I got. It's actually my mom's house, back pasture, where I seeded again for free. And I know somebody's gonna say, hey, you need to do it anyways, take care of your mama. Well, I got about 50 grand in her house. My mama's plenty taken care of. It's back all the way down in these weeds. I want to see what it does back here. Got cows over here. They know I'm making them some food. I'd like to be a farmer. I love doing tractor work. I'd like to get back to, I used to have about 90% tractor work, and heck, there was a long time I didn't even own a skid loader. Didn't need it. I had a mini skid to load stuff up. It'd load up most of my pallets. And I didn't even own a skid loader. I had a tractor with the loader, and that was it. Electric draft control is amazing. It's nice not doing this all the time. It's just kind of thumb. You run it with your thumb. Don't let me run into that pond. Just gonna check the box. First time I seeded Brome, I got a good idea. I think we're about out. Boy, that is doing really good. If you trust my opinion on seeders, I'm actually a little impressed with its ability to put Brome in. I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but I actually wish they would sell this without the primary box. If they would, I would take a warm season box in the small seed box and plant Brome and natives, because I do the same ratios for natives as I do Brome grass, and it's the same very difficult seed to plant. It's doing really good. Natives and Brome grass really like a compact seed bed, or at least that's what I've had the best luck with. You guys tell me. If you guys think differently, let me know. I'm down with learning a better way to do it, but and I cannot wait. They're gonna ship me that spike wheel, or the scraper for that spike wheel. They're gonna ship it to me. I cannot wait. That thing, it's all balled up right now. There's not that much moisture in here. It'd be nice if it was scraped clean.